Say what you will about the Donnie Elon conversation on X last night, and even though I was among 1.2 million listeners on that platform alone, the internet as we speak is being swept of that metric. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. Oh, the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni ringing the The FOMO index has ticked up to 31 from yesterday's 25. Bitcoin dominance is 55.9%. 24-hour volume is 79 billion. The overall market cap, 2.08 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, as I tried desperately to stay up and listen to Uncle Donnie and Elon's chit-chat last night, the absence of any talk of Bitcoin drew my weary eyes to sleep, not unlike the Bitcoin market for the past 5 months. Yesterday we tried to get up and over our bull flag's exit point at 60K, threw a desperation wick over her before getting denied back down almost to the 50 moving average, and have sawed Z's back into a consolidation pattern to a time of production 58.9. All in all, we are in a bearish leg of an otherwise bullish uptrend with no real indicators of strength or weakness. How I'm playing this consolidation pattern is to keep my papers on the breakout. Bulls at 60K, while the Bears will take the W down at 57.7, at which point we'll have to adjust our safety belts and helmets for a bumpy end to August. Now, I say if we break 57.7, our last bullish hope will be our channel of eternal monotonies, support level down at 57.2. Now over on the ding-dong, we have what I like to call the moving average reckoning, where the 20, the 50, and the 200 all merge. And what I like about this is when it happened last, which is, and you can't make this up, last August. Yes, last year around this very same time, we had a moving average reckoning that saw a hella consolidation pattern, a virtual inaction for around 60 days, leading into an explosion and a 158% pump, concluding 5 months later to where we are now. So if history spits out a similar song to last year's hit, where does a 158% pump starting in and around October 13th take us? Well, that would be March 2025. Way up at 158K. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, yet we're lucky enough to have them anyways. So get out there and knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee. Join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Or on the banks of boom to spank, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa, cha-cha-cha-ching. And there you have it. March 2025, 158K. I wasn't going to tell you what the price is going to be March 25 because at the end of the day, I don't know. It's just the way a fractal can happen. If it happens like it happened last time, maybe we'll see 158K. You know, sometimes it takes everything I got to not respond to the comment tourists, and they're usually people that I, maybe just subscribe to put the comment in and then skedaddle. Where there'll be a video where it'll have a probability of where the price goes, and if by the time they're watching that video it's not there, well, they're gonna leave a comment. I told you what this is, as if, but goes up, goes down, right? And it takes everything I got not to give them a little comment back. But what's the point? What is the point? So I expect a few, 158K if it's like by tomorrow or at the end of the day. It's not at 158K. It's still at 58K. Well, it's been at 58K for, 5 months now. Doesn't seem to be wanting to move. We had a little bit of a pump early there when the CPI came out. Not CPI, the PPI came out. And it came out a little bit less. And so I was like, what? Because it's a clown world now. It's like, is bad news good news? Or wait a second. Is that good news? And if it is good news, is it bad news for Bitcoin? Wait a second. That's bad news for the market, but it's good news for I don't know. I don't even know anymore. It's hard to tell with the fundamentals these days because it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense until we're in a bull run and everything's going up no matter what everyone says. It's like, see, I told you. Yeah, it's good news. I told you it's good news. Now, what did I think of the chit chat between Elon Musk and Donnie? I couldn't stay up for it. I tried my best. To listen. I was basically listening for once we started into let's get to the economics of it all. I was like, okay, here we go. And then I didn't see any, I didn't hear any Bitcoin talk. So I was like, I fell asleep. And then when I went to check it out this morning, I went to Google. First mistake, I should just go to Twitter. I went to Google to catch some highlights that I missed, and I couldn't find it. It was very hard to get any information on Google about the chit chat between Donnie and Elon in the morning. You would think that right away there'd be a ton of them, and then of course I went to Twitter, and there was a bunch of people that have done that. So you can check it out if you need the Coles notes or the TDLR. Is that TLDR? TLDR. Sneaky Pete Vapes. Crazy lisp on that weird audio artifacts. Yeah, I saw everyone by the time before I went to bed, people were like, he's drunk. He's got it. It's a lisp. What has he got? Dentures in there? Is his dentures out? Wait a second. He's so drunk that he forgot to put his dentures in. It's amazing how many times people just look for the craziest things no matter what's going on. I don't know how many times I have to tell everybody that they're just puppets. They're just puppets. And they don't even know they're puppets. That's why it's so heartbreaking. They actually think that they're in charge.
And I would think that Uncle Donnie probably knows how much in charge he can be from his last take. He got in there with a bunch of promises, and that's the funny thing, I remember when we had class president or something in high school. Someone would run for class president, and their speeches they were taught to make a bunch of promises, and they would promise whatever. The canteen's going to be filled with Dr. Pepper and licorice instead of orange juice and bagels. Oh, I would love it, right? This is where you learn how to believe in all the BS that comes out politically. You're weaned on it in high school, so that's all. They can literally say anything they want, and what's going to happen? Nothing. They got to get approved. Like I said before, it's like the GM at my bar back in the day. The bar was called Green Room. It was a boutique, a nightclub, smaller than most, maybe like a quarter the size. So it was very tight. And holy smokes. The Sneaky Pete and vaporizers. Where's my sustain pedal? There it is. Start again. The Sneaky Pete and vaporizers asks, who's pulling the string? Reveal the puppet master. Well, that's easy, Sneaky Pete. They are the puppet masters. They. And they is an acronym for the hierarchy exploiting you. That's all you got to know there, Sneaky Pete. Especially in Canada, we know it even better. Like that's why it's like most people in Canada that are in crypto, Bitcoin, they're almost apolitical because they know it's all hogwash. It's just all kabuki theater, like I've said before. And everything I say, I hope I'm wrong. Just like everything I said that was going to happen 4 years ago. I didn't want any of that to happen. I wanted to be wrong. I still want to be wrong about most things. However, but as when you're in Bitcoin long enough, when you're watching charts long enough, you can't help but become better at probabilities and patterns. So everything I see, from relationships to weather to you name it, to my own performance as an athlete and musician, it's just all probabilities. I have probabilities running through my head, and I'm sure you do as well. And you just become more tuned in to the probabilities of things. It's an easier way to run your life because you just kind of function about the probabilities. What's the probabilities of this happening? And you kind of mask it out, and you can. I always said, so my grandma was a medium in World War II. That was a hard left, right? She was a medium in World War II. And to a certain degree, most of my Wick's wife, I was wondering where the Wicks were. People, that's the thing. There's certain characters in the chat that if people don't see where they are, they start to worry. And the Wicks are one of them. Wicks, everyone was saying, where are the Wicks? There's Wick's wife. Have you smashed the like button? Let me see, 43. No, people haven't smashed it. So my grandma was a medium in the World War II, and most of my family believed it. That what a medium was, like she channeled ghosts or whatever. Well, when I asked her before she died, what did you do as a medium? She said, "Oh, I'm just a good cold reader. I can just read people. I know what they're going to say, based on what they've said and what they'll do." She was Polish. And so I just got the more I did it, the better I got at it, to the point where I didn't even have to try. Someone would say something, I just know what they were going to say. And why am I even talking about my grandma as a medium? Oh yeah, probabilities. Right. So I always had a sixth sense about people's personality as well. So when I would meet someone, let's say me and the Wicks went out for dinner. And while we were having dinner, someone came up and said, "Hey, Wick," or Chad, not Wick's wife, Wick's wife's husband. "Hey, Chad, how's it going? Do you mind if I sit down?" And they sat down. I would get a cold read on that person so fast that I would actually have to deny it because it would affect the way I treated the person. So let's say I got a bad vibe on them, I had to deny it. And I do most of the time because I like to just run the world with a clean slate. However, I can't even remember when one of my takes on people's personality or vibes were wrong. And I also attribute that to being a musician because you exist in a vibe state. You're constantly riding a wave of vibes, whether it's um, currently in the math that you're existing on, or it's the vibe that you're getting. So you send out the math and the math comes back from the crowd. That's also a vibe. So you learn to be very sensitive to vibes. And I wish that most of those vibes didn't come true, but they always do. It's so bizarre, and the more you trust your vibes, the stronger your vibes get. Now, if you're someone whose vibes are wrong, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe just keep practicing them. But I have to turn my vibes off most of the time because it makes for a disappointing life almost. I know that's kind of hyperbolic to say, but like if you go into things vibing that you're gonna understand how things pan out. Well, where's the joy in surprise and not really knowing, if you know what I mean? Got a little thing out here I'd like to share with everyone.
The most important advice that I would give is to find a way to give value to other people. And this is really the key thing. You need to wake up every morning and figure out how to serve others. This is the key to everything you want in life.
Now, I think the interesting part about that scenario is whether or not you are a parent. Because when you become a parent, you instantly start serving your child. And anyone who is a parent is probably laughing right now because they know that's how it goes. And if it doesn't go that way, well, there's probably something inherently wrong with your personality. But I tried to think back when I saw that before I was a parent. What did I do? Did I live in a complete self-absorbed world? And I kind of think, yes, I did. And it wasn't until the ayahuasca trips that I kind of came out of that. And maybe I would have at that age, despite the ayahuasca, but that there was a confluence of events that occurred at that time of my life that the self-absorption and the selfishness dissipated. But I wish I would have saw that when I was younger. Maybe in my 30s. I loved my 30s. My 30s were a good time. My 30s were, that was like something Donnie Trump would say. I love my 30s. 30s were a good time. There's nothing but fun in my 30s. But I wish I had someone tell me that when I was younger, because I think I would have had the tree of life, so to speak, would have blossomed sooner for me. So tell me, if you aren't a parent, do you feel the pull of that scenario where when you make your life about others, so to speak, you will reap more rewards? And if that isn't happening now, I don't know, maybe try it. Kenny Carneal, when you serve others, life is easier. Find the Lord and help others get there. Yes, when you do serve others, life is easier. I kind of learned that from family members too. You can tell when someone in your family is really trying to protect the family. These people stand out, and I feel like to a certain degree, I'm one of those people in my family. I'm trying to make the peace all the time, and then there's people in your family that are not trying to make the peace, and it happens. We all have them and everyone's family has this dichotomy of personalities that are either pushing or pulling for peace and harmony. And I guess being a Libra, I'm even Steven, so I'm always looking for the the right way in and out of other things. Bruce no kids for us, but I still understand. Well, I'd be interested to see how old you are, Bruce Mai, because I do find age has something to do. Just take one more look at that.
The most important advice that I would give is to find a way to give value to other people. And this is really the key thing. You need to wake up every morning and figure out how to serve others. This is the key to everything you want in life.
Yeah, to wake up and see the reason why I had a problem with that and made a significant impression on me when I saw it is that I didn't do that in my 30s. I didn't find the need. There was no reason for it, right? So I was wondering if there's an ideal reason for that when you're on the other side of parenthood, so to speak. Black Hat team, don't spend your 30s at bars. Just saying, too late, Black Hat team. I was in bars all my 30s, and you're right. That was a waste of time. However, I always say, no matter what happened, the mistakes I made, the triumphs that occurred, it all led me to being Duke's dad. That's it. Right. So if any of those things didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And neither would you in a weird parallel dimension. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this and you wouldn't be here with me enjoying the cup of coffee enjoyed around the world, Sneaky Pete. Oh, wait a second. I always get that wrong. It's a Bitcoin crypto morning tea. Coffee. Retro Mike Tech, spend your 30s at the piano bar. Man, so that's funny you say that, Retro Mike Tech, because I wish I would have spent my 30s playing the piano. I didn't start playing the piano till I was 40. And now everything's harder when you're 40, kind of, to learn. However, I had an experience as a musician, so you can kind of go from one to another. But had I done that in my 30s, heavens to Murgatroyd, it would have been such a different life right now. Oh, look at that. It's Lizzie Dub-Dubs in the corner, just smiling. What are you smiling at? What do you have to smile at, Lizzie Dub-Dubs? So look at this. Essentially, tell me that we haven't done anything in 24 hours without telling me we haven't done anything in 24 hours. Look at that. That is a tight range of boredom. So, of course, our breakup points are 60K, 57.7, but 57.7 is so much more important than the 60K, because 60K we could bust out and my ear went out in my right ear. We can bust out and retest, right? So 60K isn't the be all end all. It is the breakout of this. I don't know how long can we go on saying that this is a bull flag, for the love of Pete? How long? Can we go and retest and come back up and this is the longest bull flag? At what point does it become a channel of descension? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it is a channel of descension already. So the breakout's 60K, but we could break out just like, look at this wick of desperation, over, and then we came back down. I'm more looking at 57.7 to be retested and hold. Because if we don't hold that, well, then we got 57.2, which is this channel of eternal monotony support. Now, when I talked about the Squeaky McGee in your 40s, whoa, think of how good a player Duke will be in 5 years from now. That's funny, Squeaky McGee, because I always tell Duke that. I go, Duke, in 5 years, you're going to be better than me. I didn't start till I was 40. Look at you. You're 9 years old. Yeah. And things start happening in his brain. I can see him when he plays piano now. He goes off on his own. Whereas before I had to always tell him, do this, do that, do this, do that. And then he would do this, do that, do this, and he'd be done. But now he kind of gets into that vibe that I was talking about before, where he's now on the wave of it. And it's controlling him as much as he's controlling it, if that makes any sense. Let me know. I've been, after a bunch of comments about Duke's playing and I've been asked to teach piano. Hey, do you teach piano, right? And I don't want to do it because I'm a bad teacher. But I was thinking about doing a video series with that toothpick training, I call it. And at the end, it can teach anyone to play Sweet Caroline, basically. Because it's 3 chords, but you need to know 3 chords. But it all starts with one note, and then it goes to 3, and then it gets cubed. or squared or whatever. And then, Sweet Caroline. So if learning how to play Sweet Caroline is something that interests you, let me know in the comments or come back and put it in the comments after so I can keep a log of it. Whether it's worth anyone's time, including my own and yours. It was kind of like that audiobook. I went out on a Carl Elder, pianomattyb, bless you, do that video. Please do. Yes, do that video. Okay. Well, there's one. For the audiobook for the great taking. I did that on a whim, thinking nobody would, in my mind, people would like it, but it seems to have, it's kind of evergreeny now, just kind of goes up by 100, where all these videos that I do daily just die. They're like, I could put a tombstone on them, tombstone at about 6 o'clock. That's why I kind of released the standalone video at around 6, because at 6, this becomes a tombstone. So this moving average reckoning right here. It's interesting, the last, so let's go, we'll do that fractal. The last time this happened was way back. Here we go. Follow me in this messy little so-and-so right here. This was 1 year ago today. Isn't that funny? 1 year ago, and we went up 158%. And I saw someone say 158% and 158K, just so we can. I'm starting to say, maybe I got the things wrong. I do it all the time. I get things wrong all the time. So let's see. 158K. There we go. Yeah, 158%. Right? Now I'm scared to do this. Maybe I got it all wrong. Joe Suchek, I love your audiobook. Thanks. Much appreciated. That was a true labor of educational love. I just want people to understand what may be coming. Took months to do that stupid audiobook. So I appreciate you having listened to it and making that comment, because it did take long. It's hard. It's a hard read, and it's a hard voiceover because there's so many weird. It's not written like by an author, so to speak. So 158% from here. Come on. Gotta make this smaller. 158%. Make sure you guys can see it. 158%. This is a live replay of the TA. Come on. Sorry, stand by. 158. Yeah. So 153K. Did I say 158 or 153? Anyway, close enough. It's 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning when I'm doing this. You guys are in your sweet slumber when I'm crunching the numbers at 4:30. So that's how she goes. March 25th. It'll be easy. Easy. I think I saw easy in the chat. It'll be interesting to see March 25th. Or no, it's not March 25th. It's March 2025. Where we'll be. So we'll come back to this video to see if we're anywhere close to 153K. It'll be funny. It'll be one for historical norm. That's for sure. Michael Saylor in the corner checking it out. Well, folks, 59K. We're clutching. We're white knuckling this morning's price action of essentially nothing. We had the PPI kind of get everyone excited, and then everyone realized no one knows what good news or bad news is anymore. So, excuse me, that was almost a coffee boip. Yes, I had coffee again. D-Fresh over on Rumble says, I coached my kids' sports team. Watching the growth of all the kids was worth it. Yeah, it really is something, isn't it? Because it can be incredibly frustrating teaching kids. 153K squeaks. It can be, you need a lot of patience, right? And you don't think it's ever going to happen, depending on on the kid's reaction. But for instance, so Duke last year, we couldn't really play tennis. I would hit it to him, and he would just cowabunga it into or over the fence. But put him in some camps, and Lord love a duck if he doesn't have the most beautiful backswing you ever done, gone, and saw for a 9-year-old. And so we rally. I'm fascinated at the fact that, wow, I can rally with this kid at 9 years old. So I have a feeling he's going to be quite the little athlete, and I attribute that to piano. So again, if you want to learn Sweet Caroline, or you want your kids to play piano, and Duke playing piano the way he does is not an anomaly. It doesn't take a God-given knack or talent. It's just understanding numbers at a young age. Any kid can do it if they're taught that toothpick training method. Lord, love a duck. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.